going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us. Always going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us.
Yo, Prime Tracks, you a fool for this beat, man. Sound like some of that early 2000s Northern Cali hyphy shit, you understand me? But we finna get this shit lit, nigga. Get your umbrellas out, nigga, cause we tripping all over this motherfucker. Yeah, I'm addicted to the drip. Drip. Yeah, I gotta have that drip. Drip. I'm in love with the drip. Drip. Young nigga like the drip. Drip. Your boy drippin' like Mopo and in the glass. What I whippin' got 200 miles on the dash. Not make any doughs, but it's still a vet. I got that drip hoe, even my silhouette. Open up my closet and see your waterfall. You niggas too dry, my drippin' slaughter y'all. I know it bothers y'all, so I'm a pardon y'all. I got some shit you won't find at the Arden Mall. I got enough drip to maintain the garden, y'all. And I can back it up like when James Harden ball. And when I shoot my shot, straight switch, nigga. I play with confidence like I can't miss. You got cologne drip, a spray of mist, nigga. I got that long drip, leave your game drenched, nigga. Ask me why, I make it make sense, nigga. Cause I gotta have that drip, nigga. I'm addicted to the drip. Drip. Yeah, I gotta have drip. Drip. I'm in love with the drip. Hey, hold on one second, hold on, y'all. Drip. This is where I want the ladies to turn the fuck up now and shit, right? Y'all ready? Drip. 2, 3. She ain't got a lot of ass, but I bet she got some pussy. Yeah, wet and gushy, without no sweat to get the cookie. You're dealing with a vet, no rookie. Keep this, why you lame niggas worry about the ass on her? If she looking wet, I ain't about to pass on her. I'ma take her to the dash on her. And if she got drip, I'ma throw some cash on her. I know what niggas thinking, I'll be chicken right. You bum ass niggas better get your chicken right. Paint a picture, I hope you get the light. Your money left as long as you stick it right. Scared money don't make no sense, nigga. No checks, no dollars, no sense, nigga. I swing for the fence and I'm a switch hitter, cause I gotta have that drip, nigga. I'm addicted to the drip. Drip. Yeah, I gotta have that drip. Drip. I'm in love with the drip. Drip. Young nigga like the drip. Drip. Yeah, nigga, y'all know how we rockin', boy. Nigga come through like a fucking tsunami, nigga drippin' on every day moving. But peep this though. One shot if you a real nigga. 2 shots if you chasing your goals. 3 shots if you tryna get money. 4 shots if you tryna get hoes. 1 shot if you a real nigga. 2 shots if you chasing your goals. 3 shots if you tryna get money. 4 shots if you tryna get hoes. Yeah, I am up gang shit, nigga.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. There we go.
Oh, yo.
What's poppin'?
I was over there dancing and shit, you know.
Right. Had to get it in on the backstage.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Free Your Mind podcast, where you can free your mind and help others free theirs. I'm your co-host by the name of Woon. I'm all about balance like a mop and a broom.
Yes, sir. I go by the name of Selfmade, man. I got to tap into self to know thyself always. Today is a good one, man. We got We got near-death experiences.
NDE, baby.
NDEs. Hey, real quick, I just sent the I just tagged you since your Facebook wasn't,
Oh, that shit didn't go? That's fucking garbage, bro.
So I tagged you. I don't know, you might have to accept it or whatever so it'll go on the on your end.
Why did you say that? Because I hella.
You know how that Facebook is, man. And then break that. Mic check, 1 2.
That's a profile.
Check 2.
Okay, yeah. It's working.
Yeah, it's Mercury retrograde, so lots of little technical difficulties going around. Can y'all hear me all right? It's not too much wind in the background.
Nah, you good on my end. So good.
Cool.
How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal, to be honest. I know we're SAC based, but right now I'm currently in Hawaii, so I'm enjoying this island.
Oh yeah, you got the island vibes.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
it's beautiful. Lit. I can see the water from here.
Hey, that's lit.
I thought I was doing something right now. I'm on Treasure Island in Las Vegas. But
hey,
that's for sure.
Hey, you could be on the real island. You know what I'm saying? It's Absolutely. Your imagination, man.
This whole planet is an island. If that's the case,
right? Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, you figured. All right, you got that.
Hey, did she sign the disclaimer? The non-facial. Did she sign the non-facial disclaimer?
Uh-oh.
I know. Hey, I that view. I'm just like, I want to see the view one
Y'all
time.
want to see what we looking like? Okay.
That's a fact.
Let me do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see that view.
Get my little
what time is it out there right now?
It is 5:01 p.m. currently. Okay, let's see if this.
Oh,
all
damn.
right, there we go.
Oh,
here
so
I go.
Shit.
What's popping? How do I turn my camera around? Is that even possible on here?
I see. Now I don't know.
About these things. I don't know. I'm gonna just do the OG way, like before we had all these cameras.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
What island are you on?
I'm on the island of Oahu, and y'all see that's the water over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other side of the earth, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Mountains.
I know, right?
Mountains. A little golf course right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
lit out there.
You're pulling down. Well, since y'all done got me exposed out here on the net, I might as well get the setup correct. There we go. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? And let me properly introduce myself, by the way, because Goddess of 10,000 Names. I go out hella aliases and profiles and stuff. I be ducking, but officially my name is Femi Divine. I go by Miss Divine in professional public spaces, but Femi is what people mostly know me by. Like I said, I got a million aliases, so it's just to go with my many trades. My many trades. I do a lot of things. I've been in on a lot of paths. So I got a lot of names.
That's lit. Is Femi short for feminine?
It is not. It's an African name. The Yoruba tribe people. It means, basically like love. And my mom just heard that. She loved it. She's like, if I ever have a daughter, I'm gonna name her Femi. And then that's how I got her. I'm not African though, but the name is for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just want to make sure because I probably would have slipped up and been like, hey, Femi, feminine. I do that a lot.
Start trying to connect all the words and
it is whatever you want it to be. You know what I mean? So
right.
Well, welcome to the show, lady.
Yes, I appreciate it. Near-death experiences. I ain't signed no non-facial disclaimer, but let me disclaim right now to all the people watching, okay, I'm speaking personally from my own beliefs and experiences, and they are very unorthodox. So I just encourage everybody to open their minds as well as freeing their minds. Open your mind to the possibilities that these things that I may discuss actually do exist, and I am not the only one who can attest to this, okay? That's my disclaimer.
That means it's gonna go up?
I mean, I live a pretty magical lifestyle. So I'm just saying it puts a lot of people in a space of discomfort sometimes because
they ain't experienced it or
things that should be impossible. So then you're saying I'm impossible because this is my real life experience.
Facts.
As far as I'm concerned. So I just like to share, from my own public eye. And like I said, maybe we can open and free some minds in the process. But, I just got to let the people know what they're getting into first. Okay.
I got another brother. Hopefully we can get him in. That also has an NDE experience that he was trying to talk about. It's actually my goddess's cousin. Okay. So hopefully and that's the thing too, that just like how you were saying, from my own personal experience, I've had a couple of NDEs, you know what I'm saying? Some out of body experiences that were crazy. And it's different, like, the perception that I'm pretty, like, I could kind of see, you know what I mean? Like, or assume where you're going to go with the perception, you know what I mean? But that perception compared to, like, the perception of somebody actually getting into a car accident or something like, traumatically actually physically happening to their bodies that's making them have this experience is gonna be interesting to see, you know what I mean? Like how it's perceived versus, the other way. So yeah,
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting that you talk about cars because, like, if you were to get into a car accident, and let's say your person propelled out of the windshield, right? That's a kind of ejecting trauma. And what you're talking about in a metaphorical sense, the being that's in this vehicle, this flesh body that we're driving, can just as easily be projected or ejected out of its vehicle, and it can just as easily open the door and walk out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had the secondary experience, and that was quite a trip. And we will get into it. So, like I said, I'm open to any questions. I am encouraged to tell this story. So, I'm not squeamish either. So, do your due diligence while y'all have me.
Yeah, I didn't have an outer body experience too, so you might open me up to share mines. I wouldn't call mine NDE, but I couldn't say that I didn't die. Like, you know what I mean? So if I was outside of my body and I'm seeing my body, I might have been up out of here. So, we open. Yeah. And I'm used to I'm used to people saying, "Woon, we don't know what the
I'll be seeing.
Yeah. So I don't care about none of that shit. It's lit.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, before we begin, is there any y'all seem pretty candid, but like, I don't want to get nobody demonetized or nothing. Can I talk about like psychedelics?
Yeah.
These types
we got a whole show on that. Yeah.
Okay, well, turn up. Then if y'all into that, then
you already know where I'm gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? That's out my lane. So
y'all sound experienced enough to be able to hold on to the context. Yeah.
The positive energy in your shirt kind of look like some hippie shit a little bit, though. I ain't even gonna hold you.
You know,
far out, dude.
I'm a cliche. I'm a cornball. I'm here for that.
What's up?
But yeah, so I mean, what y'all just want me to jump right into it, or y'all got some questions? Do y'all want to share your experiences first?
Have you only had one experience like this, or a couple of different experiences, or is this like just the most profound one?
I can say, okay, this is what I can say. I can say that I have had unconscious experiences. I have had out of body experiences, and then I experienced what we call death.
Okay,
So
when you say unconscious, what is
okay, have you guys
what do
ever
you
been
mean?
blackout drunk before? Have you ever passed out from heat exhaustion? Have you guys ever you've never like
I've been blacked out drunk. I am lying. I have.
okay, well, these are what I consider unconscious experiences. Like you experience that void. You experience that amnesiac, like something was happening and now something else is happening and there's a gap. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's a memory gap, right? I've experienced out of body things, meaning like I was kind of aware, unlike when you black out drunk, but definitely not like when you die. So there is kind of a scale. And in those experiences, like I said, it feels almost like more like a dream. But just like I said, there's still that amnesia between the moment you knew you fell asleep. Like you're aware and you're conscientious of the moment that you woke up. You know exactly when that was. You can say, oh, it was probably like 3 minutes ago, but I laid in bed a little bit before opening my eyes. Or, like you just woke up and opened your eyes and hopped out the bed on some, you got some positive energy type stuff, but you remember that exact moment. We don't necessarily remember the exact moment that we fell asleep. Have you ever been like talking to someone and you realize like I was just in my dream, but I was talking to you out loud? Like you're just so sleepy, you're crossed between worlds. That is the out of body. The death is it's like the moment you wake up, you have that consciousness, that memory, that amnesia is not there. It's not present. So you remember from this, just like this, to when you fell asleep, but you're not falling asleep, you're actually falling awake. Bear with me here. Okay. And there is absolutely no break in memory or consciousness at all, but there is definitely a break from that, whatever that experience is, and the body. And that's what I experienced. I'm going to say that word a lot because it's the best language that I think we have to describe what I'm talking about. But yeah, so this death experience, like I said, I have many trades. I am a shaman, I'm a healer, I'm a card reader, I'm very esoteric, I'm very woo-woo to the T, to the core, to the max. Okay. And this just comes from my parents' background, right? They were in alternative religions, if you will. So in doing that, during my shamanic training, we learned a lot of ways and tools, and sharpened skills we really already had in order to be able to navigate the spirit world. And this is the world of mythological lore. Like you think of talking animals or, like totem guys, like some, the man in the bush that's waiting for you when you get lost in the woods. Like, what the fuck are you doing here, bro? Like, that's a spirit from the spirit world. I promise you. Okay. And like I said, people who take psychedelics, you can simulate that kind of journey as if you were to physically get your physical body lost in the woods and a person was there. You can simulate any really kind of journey or experience when you're tapping into that DMT that's naturally in your body. Psychedelics is just an expedite, right? So there's that. But anyway, to bring it back, something that we learn is how to journey in this spirit world. Like I said, how to navigate it. And I was in a really low place, not to get dark. We're going to keep it positive. But I was in a very low place at that time. I was battling all kinds of demons, addictions, like literally possessions and just energy, being so empathetic and having no fucking boundaries whatsoever. I was taking on too much and there was too much going on and I didn't have the tools as far as socially to be able to handle that. So when I got these spiritual tools, I just came up with the idea, like, you know what? I'm not going to try and necessarily end my life in a physical way because I have history with that, and obviously I'm still here. So my body said, we ain't letting you do no stuff like that, okay? Psych your mind, you thought you was just gonna wake up crippled and then be even more mad. So I had to determine, like, okay, I'm meant to live. So if I'm going to live, then I need to live in a certain way. And at that time in my life, I was like, or maybe not, fuck it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the spirit world and then not come back, essentially. So I got myself prepped to journey. And, you know, I made my statements out loud in the air. Like, you know, I'm sorry, Mom, you had to find my body in here. Like, I really laid myself down to rest with the intention of being there until whenever, whatever happens next. Because mind you, at this time, I don't have any philosophies necessary about the afterlife. That word to me is hilarious. So whatever. After life, there is only life. How is there after?
Yeah, like there is nothing.
You know what I mean? But I understand the concept. This is why I say death is for the living. It's not an experience that the dying have, because we continue forward. And this is essentially what I learned. So I lay myself down. I make my proclamations. They'll see it. It's close.
Hey, because how you're breaking it down is dope as fuck. But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Yes, no problem. I got all day. But yeah, so I'm laying myself down. I make my proclamations. I state my intention, and I let it be known. Like, I'm not playing. You feel me? Like, I tapped into this. I am. Like, if I am this and this is me, then I would be able to remove myself from this. Like, what? There's no reason why I would want to experience such a severity of trauma. I'm a great person. Like, this does not make sense, and it wasn't making sense. So I'm like, well, let's see. Let's just see. You know, of course, I wasn't all light about it then. It was a very serious situation. And I remember feeling like, okay, I'm gonna inhale, right? Mind you, like I said, yoga, I've got massage therapy, shamanism, I had all these tools. So I knew spiritually how to handle stuff. And with that confidence, I just asserted my authority, like my sovereign divine energy. I commanded every atom of my being to do this. If this is true, then fucking show me, right? Then get me, come get me. And I'm really talking to myself, like, come get me. Like, bitch, if you're done, then be done and stop playing. And I literally, like, with that exhale, it was just, it was like, it's the reason why people do drugs like meth and heroin and they OD. Like, it's that. It overdosed my physical being to the point where I could not be in it anymore. And I felt like the warmth of, like, everything. Like, literally, when you say you want comfort or you want to go home, that's what you're talking about, is that. And it's so warm and inviting. Like, there's nothing scary about it at all. It's very welcoming. It's compassionate. It's loving. It's infinite. Like, it is our maker. I don't even know how else to explain it. Like I said, there's no language for real. And so, like, you just like, oh, it's like, all right, yeah. Like, there's no reason to not resist that or to fight that. And in that immediate moment, because there's really no time, so everything was happening stacked on top of itself, if that makes sense. It wasn't like a moment and then a moment next to it. It was all one moment of, like, so many experiences all at the same time.
Facts.
And it was like, I was like, oh, okay. And then the next thing that I knew, it was dark for like 30 minutes, quote unquote, 30 minutes. I don't know. But it was like, imagine like when you're trying to meditate, it's dark, right? But it's not, because you're awake. So that's what I was experiencing. So I'm like, oh, I must have just fallen asleep. And so I wake up out of my bed and I'm like, that shit didn't fucking work. Whatever. Like, I'm just being dramatic. Let me go get some water. And then I realized, like, there was no bottom part of the stairs when I went out of my room. My room is all red, but there's no bottom part of my steps. I'm like, hell no. Like, I know it's nighttime and stuff, but like, no. Even if all the lights in the house were not on, it was just too dark for me to trust it. You feel me?
Right.
And so I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm like, I'm so fucking thirsty. Like, I have to go down there. I said, I'm not going to let no scary ass paranoia. Like, I'm grown, you know, I'm finna walk myself down the steps and get some water and just act like, you know, I'm cool in here. And when I got down to the bottom of the steps, I woke up in my bed. And so that didn't make any fucking sense. and I was just as dehydrated. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait, it's still daytime? Because this happened in the day on March 17th. And it was in the daytime. And then I woke up out of my sleep at nighttime to get a glass of water, right? And during that time, I'm like sending Instagram stuff like, oh, woe is me, all these like sad, dopey poems or whatever, because I'm suicidal and I hate my life and I can't even kill myself. Like, I was going the fuck through it. I sent some toxic ass messages to some toxic ass people that I was involved with at that time. And then, you know, I'll go downstairs. The stairs is looking weird. I go, just was like, whatever, keep going down, wake up in my bed again. I'm like, what the fuck? This doesn't make no sense. So I immediately go to check my phone because I'm like, what time is it? Like, I went to sleep when it was light, then it was dark, and I was light again. And I woke up twice. I said, hell no, that's not making sense. So I go to check my phone, and it's fucking March 20th. So I laid down on March 17th.
17th, right.
And after whatever that blackout stairs experience was, and mind you, like, this was, I would say, all in the time span of like 45 minutes max. Right? But when I wake up and grab my phone and check the time, it's March fucking 20th. I've been laying in that bed for 3 fucking days. So I'm like, hell no. I immediately go check my Instagram. The posts are there. I immediately go check those toxic ass messages, and messages are there. Calls are there. So that fucking really happened. But that happened when I woke up out of my bed in the red room. Now, me being in a red room wasn't alarming to me, because I had Christmas lights. I had red ones, white ones, and blue ones, and I could plug them interchangeably or all together, whatever. So at that time, it was daytime. I don't recall if they were on red or if they were on blue or white. I don't remember, but my room being red is, you know, it wasn't alarming to me. So when I woke up that first time and I was in a red room and at night, that logically made sense to my brain. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I fell asleep.
Right.
But I did fall asleep just for 3 damn days. And the part of it that makes it scary is that because I think of it like I breached my contract, and there are lots of spirits who wish they could have a body, and they will jump at any chance, even if that means squeezing into yours with you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Or inhabiting an arena where your body is and being toxic and creating poison and, you know, venom and making you sick, right? There's many different ways that a spirit can negatively affect your life.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I was in that environment, right? And that's what led me there to begin with. So I don't know if you guys ever been like kind of asleep and someone like gets on your bed and you can feel like the pressure.
You feel it? Ooh,
yeah. So that was happening.
Yes.
That was happening the night that I went to lay myself down, right before I, you know, let go into the it was like I would just call it a radiant brightness, because it was every color and it was no color. It was white and it was black. It was just an experience, but I let myself go into that after feeling like this pressure. But I have a cat. Something the cat got on the bed. I don't know where the cat was at. I don't know if he really did get on the bed. I don't know if that was an entity or not. But I know that I felt like my cellular memory on waking up upon the 20th of March. I felt this like shuddery, weird energy, as if someone had tried to put my skin on them, as if it was like a onesie suit that was way too tight, like trying to like jump. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how girls with fat ass, they be jumping like that. But that's how my skin felt. Like it was being stretched in that manner. And this don't make no sense because I've been laying down for 3 days. If my clock is right? So mind you, at this point in time, I've been awake for maybe 15 minutes. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, oh shit. I try to get myself out of the bed. I literally cannot move my fucking legs. I had to lay there and like, okay, command my body to fucking move, because at that point I was tweaking, y'all. God bless me. I was tripping. Like, this is not possible. This is not real. I'm having a schizophrenic episode. Something is wrong with me. Like, this did not just really happen. You know, like it was that crazy. It made me question if I was even awake in that moment. I'm like, well, who knows? Who knows? Because there was absolutely no separation. And right before that moment, you know, we're programmed to believe that there is a separation. So it was kind of disorienting to like my beingness, because my being is told it's the human body, it's the flesh. My being is told that, you know, you have to follow a certain religion or a path in order to be accepted or, you know, recycled back into the all, and you have to be good in all these ways. Or, you know, my being is programmed to believe, let's say, like, you know, there is nothing after this. So my being didn't really know what to expect or what to experience. I'm thinking there's going to be a restart or a refresh. Like I'm going to wake up in another body, in another life, and it's going to be 3059, you know. That did not happen. That was not the reality. And the most affirming part of it all for me is, like I said, I'm a shaman. So once a month we would go and we'd do these open healings, and I would basically volunteer my like drumming for the collective group for the healing. So, you know, I'm like, okay, well, it was that Sunday, so I guess I'm still going, you know. I planned on going, but then I just laid myself to rest for 3 fucking days, so I'm definitely going now. And like it took me so long to even get out the bed though. Like I couldn't eat. I had to get a Jamba Juice. I called my mom, like I'm scared. It was so much going on. And when we get to the shaman's house, you know, they're in the other room preparing with the door closed while all the guests come in and kind of get prepared with them. So, you know, there's people already there. People come after you come, whatever. Me and my mom, we get in there, we go in there, and like the drumming in the other room stops. And the head shaman is like, okay, the spirit of death just walked in. We have to change everything. And I grabbed my mom so hard. I'm like, okay, so you heard her, right?
Right.
Like she doesn't even know who just walked in her door, but she's saying this out loud, and everyone in the house can hear. So everyone knows the spirit of death just walked through the fucking door, and they're looking at me. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is a little too intense. So at that moment, I just sat back and, you know, she's a nice shaman lady. She had some nice things. She had a nice little rocking chair. I'm in the rocking chair. It's got the drapes on it from like Arizona, New Mexico tribes. You can tell they like kind of made, you know, it's a nice place, nice spiritual home, a sanctuary. So I'm like, yep, well, I'm already here. So we're going to figure it out one way or another. But for her to say that was so affirming to me that whatever I experienced was real. And then, of course, that's when I learned, you know, this is why when we do certain like soul retrievals, or if like there's a natural disaster and a bunch of people die all at one time, we would, if we wanted to do any work on that and like usher in different souls, like, okay, you guys, you can come back. Because like I said, some spirits don't know that there is anything. So you experience what you believe. If you think that there's nothing that happens when you die, like how I died, when your being opens that door and decides to no longer drive that vehicle anymore, you will be there. You won't recycle. You won't go back. There will be no after. You will just still be on the planet, and you won't even know that you're on the planet. You would think you're in heaven or wherever. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was just a very interesting experience, and I know that shit happened. Then I start reading the Bible. I'm like, okay, the same thing happened to Jesus. The same thing happened to Jesus. He was on that cross. He uttered out. He laid himself to rest. He said, my God, why have you forsaken me? Then he let out an utterance and a cry. That was the last thing that he said after them boys mocked him at the bottom and was like, oh, if that's your God, then tell him to get you down. He said, ugh. And that was the last breath he uttered. Next thing you know, 3 days later, he waking up out the tomb telling a woman, I'm back. Let them go know and go prepare themselves. Same thing happened to me. So I'm like, either I'm not real right now, or that wasn't real, and I'm having a schizophrenic episode, which after the fact, I did end up going to a psychiatric hospital because I just literally like, I could not accept the truth of my experience. And I was trying to logically make sense of it.
Yeah.
But the logic is flawed. So then at that point, what do I want to believe? I want to believe that I got to bring that miraculous taste of heaven back into this body with me. And even though, like I said, I had to go vegan, my liver wouldn't process alcohol anymore. I literally was covered in ringworm, like it was all on my neck, on my chest, it was everywhere on my whole entire body. And it was a very hard experience. You know, I was having night terrors. Like it was something that I absolutely needed, but like I said, the negative repercussion of me breaching my contract like that was whatever residual energy that being put on me. So I had to fight very, very, very hard. And this is why I be telling people, like, it's trendy to astral project and all that stuff. Yes, but there is everything out there in the world. There's positive and there is negative. So as miraculous as that experience was for me, as amazing and life-changing, like that made me want to live. Because in order to get back in my body, I had to rewrite a contract for that body. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to fucking do this because first of all, I was low-key insulted. Ain't no thing finna just hijack my whole ass experience like that. If I can't enjoy being in this body, nobody's enjoying being in this body. So you gotta get the fuck up out of here. Okay, what are you doing? But then me consciously making that decision as this person the second time, because I already did it the first time.
Right.
And I did it again. I said, yeah, I gotta be real serious with this one because you know what I mean? I can't say I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be born. I did though, and that's what's so funny. We all did. We all desired the experiences that we have. So I had to grow up, and I had to accept that I've been creating my reality, and I will always be creating my reality. So it's interesting that we call that a near-death experience. But really, it brought me to the forefront of life. So I don't really know. Like I said, that's why I had to have my disclaimers. People to this day are like, oh, well, how do I know that that's what you went through? You could be lying. And I'm like, then why are you talking to me?
Right. Exactly. What's the point?
You know, it's like, what's the difference between that and any of the stories that they have in the Bible?
Right.
Yeah.
It was someone's perspective. They shared, they expressed themselves. They said, this is what I experienced. And either you choose to believe that or you choose to not believe that. But either way, you experience what you believe. So I would rather believe in the possibilities. I would rather believe in everything so then I can have that experience.
That's a fact.
Yeah, no, that was deep. You said so much in there.
I know.
I know. I tried to condense it. I had cue cards and everything,
no, you're
but
good. Because a lot of the things that you was speaking on, I witnessed that, especially when I had my my outer body experience, and I know that you said that that you was in a dark place when yours happened, and I was too. Like, you know what I mean? Like on some real dark shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
And then prior to that, I know that I did, just like how you said somebody came to hijack your shit. Somebody came to hijack my shit. And I was like, hold on, nigga, that was. I'm being serious motherfucker right now. Like, that shit is real. That, like, you know, people don't think. Well, I think a lot of people believe in like the possession part of it, right? But I don't think that they understand that, like, as soon as you are, you know, you don't have control of self. They see that shit. They're like, oh, nigga, you ain't over there driving that car?
It's contractual. It's completely contractual. Completely contractual. And that's the part that people don't like to hear.
Hey, but, you know, well, I was just going to say, you know, at the same time, having certain experiences, I learned, too, that I call them just other versions of yourself, right? So, like, the other versions of yourself be playing with you. These motherfuckers be playing. Don't think that they don't have a sense of humor. Don't think that, you know, on the other side, it's just some hella boring, everybody meditating with their, like, nah, it is not like that. You know what I'm saying? And they will bounce out on you in a certain sense to make you, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, shit, realize certain shit. That's real.
Yeah.
But that, waking up out of a dream and still being in a dream, I had that shit the same when I had my out of body experience. I woke up from a dream and just to do some regular shit. I'm like, all right, man, that dream was crazy. Doing some regular shit, boom, nigga, you still in the dream. Woke up from that dream, did some other. I probably got up, got some water, did some shit, went back. Hold up, nigga, I'm still in the dream, and I just kept on, recycling that dream shit. And I was just like, nigga, when I understood that I was nowhere because I was stuck in dreamland, then that's when it clicked. As soon as I said in my mind, because I literally said this, I said, if I'm nowhere, then I must be dead, right? I said that to myself in my mind. And as soon as I said that is when I saw myself out of my body, looking at my body, and I was like, all right, nigga, what the fuck what we got going on right now, right?
Yes.
So, but it's just the, and that's what I'm saying. Like, at that point in time, it's kind of like you don't know if you're dead, you don't know if you're still living, you don't know if this shit is a dream. Like, you know what I mean? Because I had people ask me, like, "Are you sure that wasn't a dream?" I'm like, "Nigga, look."
And my response to that is, what is the difference?
Right, exactly.
Let me know.
But so when I, because it took me some time because I was processing everything. Because I'm like everything is still the same. I'm still looking at all this other shit. And when I came to, I was like, hold on, nigga, because I'm trying to get back to my body and shit. You feel me? But just like I said, like at that point in time, I was at a dark time of my life. Like, you know what I mean? So it like I was trying to get there, but that shit was like, nah, nigga, you ain't getting there. And then there was a light beam that I seen, and the light beam actually went to my body, and it was either talking to that motherfucker doing something. Them niggas was having a conversation, and I couldn't do shit but watch. But as soon as that light beam did whatever it did, then I was able to slide back to my shit. Like, you know what I mean? And so when I slid back to my shit, and I got up, and I was like, hold on, nigga, I'm gonna make sure that I'm not still in this shit, right? So I waited out for a little bit, and I got up, and I was like, okay, I'm back to where I need to be at. But the experience that it gave me from that opened my eyes up. Because just like I said, if I'm in a dark place, ultimately, and this is what you were saying earlier, Selfmade, like when you get to this, different parts of yourself play tricks on you and shit, right? So when it comes down to that, it was just showing me personally, like, nigga, you tripping about some little shit. Well, let me open you up to some big shit. Like, you know what I mean? And ever since then, like after that, I've been tapped in with like different entities and energies coming to slide up. You know what I mean? I'm getting all type of I don't care who watching, psychic abilities. Like I'll be saying some shit gonna happen and the shit happen, or like you know what I mean, all type of shit. And it came to the point to where I started texting. Like if I have a dream that I know it's not really associated with me, I text it to myself, and then some shit happened. I'll show niggas my text like, "Hey, bro, like, shit just happened." Like, you know what I mean? But it's it gave me the ability, just like you said, to live. Like, you know what I mean? When you talk about the death part, but it gives you so much more life, and it's just like, oh shit. So then when you tap into that side, for me, it was the dopest shit. Like it was just like, okay, yeah. So you know what I mean? But I couldn't. You can't, just like you said earlier, like you can't have somebody else perceive what that feeling is because you can't even really describe it. Like we're trying to do the best with words that we can to describe it, but the feeling you can't do it. Like niggas you gotta either be there or want to take yourself there, or you know what I mean. And then you know what I mean. But if people can't fathom it, then that's not supposed to be their experience and shit. Like you know what I mean. But when that shit hit, that shit is so fucking real. It was like, but as far as me, again, and I'm gonna reiterate this. After that, tapped in, totally tapped in. There's some shit that I thought I didn't want to be with. Tapped in. They can't
Can I ask you a question about that?
Oh, yeah.
So would you say that moment was your spiritual awakening, or do you feel like you've had spiritual awakenings before that moment, and that was just like kind of a plateau?
Let me say this to that. I always knew that I had a different type of energy when I was young and shit, right? And I'm pretty sure you probably had the same kind of feeling or understanding. So when you have that, and it's kind of like hard to explain it, like when you're talking to other people or like peers or family or whoever. but you just know, like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
again, there's no words to even to make you understand what the fuck it is. But
Right.
you just
Like, I wish I knew how to tell
that
y'all.
shit, right? Like, there ain't no platform to be like, yeah, by the way, you know what I mean? So there's no platform for it. So up until that time, and it's just like, you know, and I was 16 at the time when the shit happened. Like, you know what I mean? So I've experienced like different shit, but up until that time, it was just like, well, just like you were saying, like, well, am I really doing this, or am I making all this shit up in my mind? Like, am I
right?
You question yourself, like, you really don't know, like, you know what I mean? But then when that outer body shit happened, it's just like, yes, nigga.
Okay.
This is for you. This is who you are.
You ask and you shall receive.
Exactly.
You said you want to know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm finna let you know.
Facts.
You know that shit. So when it hit, man, yeah, it was a situation to where it was just, you know, I didn't fully know, but I knew. Like, you know what I mean? So, but that was hell of a confirmation for sure.
Hey, so would you say the dream world is like the medium?
Hell yeah. You said the medium?
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's a dream world and then there's an astral world. The astral world is in the dream world, okay, but there are limitations. There are you have to have certain accesses granted, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of medium, is what I would say. There's a lot of gray area there.
Have you had a dream and like, okay, lucid dreaming is one thing. I feel like lucid dreaming is you're in the dream and you know that you're in a dream.
Yeah.
But now, is that the same as recollecting this reality too? At the same time?
That's basically, yes, that's what my death experience helped me to understand, is that we see those two realms or reality as different, and they're not. This is the different thing. This is what's different. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what's different. And that's why I'm saying, so it's really, I mean, it's the best analogy I can have to give you guys a visual is like when you, as you're a person, right, you get in your car and you go to work, and then you get in your car and you go home. This is the medium. This is the car.
Right.
There's work, there's home, and that in between is this reality that we're calling the real life, the waking life, which is the same terminology for when you die, you go to awake. So that's why I'm saying it was not a near death experience. It was a forefront of life. Like, the best way I can explain it is, you guys know the infinity symbol, right? Well, that point in the middle that is connecting all parts of it, that is the more we are going to. That's the starting point. That's the ending point. That's why I said all those things were stacked on top of each other. They're in that little realm. Everything else, literally outside of it, everything else is just it's fluff and stuff. It's fluff and stuff. So we're in the fluff and stuff. And you know, my dad, shout out to my dad, salute. He always says that, imagine if, you know, you won a 1 in a million chance to go to paradise. You would fucking take that trip. This is the trip. We're here, y'all. We're ticket winners. We are at the fucking chocolate factory. If you don't grab some of these peppermint canes, do you know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy yourself. This is what we've been waiting for, and we're here now. But the powers that be, and see, I'm about to go on a whole tangent that I'm not even about to go on. The planet herself has her own experience. And I know this, being a shaman, I did ancestral healing for the Mother Earth. And the visuals and the experience that she told me is some wild stories. That's for another time. What I will say in reference to that is, Our Father that art in heaven. This is a reference to the planet Saturn. Elohim, El, the planet, the God, the magician in the sky, our elder. That is he. He is the one that they praise, our Lord Almighty. And he, I'm going to say this in the most respectful way possible, abducted and captured our beautiful goddess maiden, this earth. So if you can imagine that storyline, like a 52-year-old man basically telling the 16-year-old girl, like, you're about to be my wife, we're gonna have kids, and that's that. That kind of is what the situation is of here. So that has manipulated our human flesh experience. These planets, they are their own bodies and they have their own energy. So if we're here in this planet, on this planet, all I know is my body's never gotten off this thing, but my internal self has done lots of journeys and been lots of places that are more than just this rock. So, like I said, everything is stacked on top of itself. There's really only that one. Everything outside of it is fluff and stuff. But the gag is we contract to break off to that from that point to travel and explore. So we made it, y'all. We made it. Live it up for yourself. You're here.
Right.
Okay. And just have a grand time. But a part of all of that freedom is the choice to not have a grand time. And so that's
no, I was just gonna say, I think that's why you have all these different crazy ass dreams. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not only simulating, you know, what you pick up subconsciously here, but all of your previous experiences within your DNA, within your genome. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's a trip, and then like that lucid dreaming, because I be in dreams and I'm still like in this world, in that world. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, where the fuck is my hair at? Like, I cut my shit. I be in there tripping sometimes because I'm like, I got short hair in my dream. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Dream you was on a different time. Dream you is on a different time.
Yeah, and it be tripping me out when I'm in there. Like, sometimes I be eating certain stuff, and I'm like, damn, I don't even be eating this. You know what I'm saying? But
it's just a way for you to really actualize all of the potential pathways.
That's a fact.
But that's what I'm saying. So like when you're in that dream and you're emoting, right? It's bringing upon you a certain emotional experience that you also have here when you're awake. So then how do you tell yourself one of those was real and one of them wasn't?
Right. Exactly.
Well, then which one was the real one?
All of them.
Right. So then if one of them ain't real, then both of them can't be real because I feel the exact same. There is zero difference.
Right.
So then what's the difference if it ain't no difference? And people
look, I think I try to bring this out every episode.
That's real.
I am nothing and everything at the same time.
Yes.
Because if all of them is real, all of them ain't real.
Exactly. And that's why I say all the time the law of polarity is my favorite universal law because it's a fucking mind trip. Like if everything is everything, but nothing is a part of everything, then everything is nothing.
Let me say this to that real quick. A lot of people are scared. I was gonna say that a lot of people don't understand that concept, but people understand it. Especially at this day and age, they understand it. But a lot of people are scared. I've seen it. They're scared, and it's just like because it gives them, it takes away their sense of individuality.
Right.
Who am I at that point in time? And that blows their fucking mind. Like the ego wants to hold on. It's like, nah, I'm this. Like,
and you know what? Shout out to the ego. The ego is the voice of your body. The ego is your body's identity. Your body is not the I am. But it is because it's everything, right?
Right.
So then the ego is the I am.
Facts.
That's
a part.
I'm gonna let it do its thing, but also, hey, bro, we all need to work in tandem. We need to have harmony.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Again, that I can't tell people to experience. But that's the only thing. Be like, nigga, just slide to the side real quick. Like lit on this side too. But they be like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna just stay over here. Yeah. Hey, it's lit.
Hey,
And to
Bernard,
each their own. To each their own.
you said it, Devon, like when you said that moment, because I know like when you was explaining it, I was just like I was visualizing my experience and that moment of like truly like in your mind coming to terms with like, hey, look, if your ass up out of here, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that's going on in this reality, Earth, your mom, your dad, like everything that's going on, this shit is up out of here. You going, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to really like surrender yourself to that inner, like, yo, that's time out. Throw the tea up real quick. Cause
Right.
I don't think people really understand like
Mm-mm.
the place that you have to be to let that go. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, like my place of that was I was at a yearning for knowledge and understanding because I felt like I got cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I got lied to and shit, and I didn't understand shit that was going on, and I needed to really figure out the truth for myself. And so that's where I'm like, nah, I gotta figure everything out. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I took that expedited trip, as you would say, psychedelics, and I went all the way in, taking heroic doses to really tap out. You know what I'm saying? And boy, did I get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Like, for surely humbled your boy. You know what I mean? But I got the experience.
You got what
like
you
were saying, I got what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And in that process, I had to let go of everything. You know what I'm saying? Literally, my identity of what my body looks like, I had to let go of it. You know what I'm saying? And once I did, I went to this white space. So I know they got the void, they got a dark space, they got a black space. I went to this white space, and it was like I was in this room. I didn't have nobody, I didn't have nothing, but I knew I was in there. And like you were saying, stuff started stacking. And then it was like it was just like boom, like all of this shit I just seen it was connected to, and it became nothing and everything, like y'all was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was that whole transformation of like, oh shit, I'm everything and nothing at the same time, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That feeling, like you saying, there's no words could describe that feeling because words is trash.
Right. I always say that language is very, very compromised. So I'm autistic. Like I said, I got a lot of tiles. It's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. So I was nonverbal for a long time. I didn't trust people. I didn't like people. I didn't feel like I really needed to. I was best friends with my mama. She was lit. She understood me. She talked to me. And it worked out. So, I would mostly yes and no and I don't know or just stare. Up until I had my first spiritual awakening, and this kid, he was just being like a little kid, he was just whatever. He wasn't really taking me seriously. And I told him like, oh yeah, well, I can't give you this piece of gum because of whatever reason. He was like, okay, but why? And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I just really don't want to, since you asked me why, I don't want to share my gum with you, And he was like, but why? And I was like, why don't I want to share my gum? Like, because I don't want to. And then he was like, but why? And, I'm autistic, so I didn't really catch on that he was just like, picking at me. But I'm like really literally trying to answer the question why. So I'm like, it broke my mind open in a way that I literally have not stopped talking since. Like I would go to the scholastic fairs and spend my little pieces of money, not on Junie B. Jones, not on Harry Potter. Okay. I was getting vocabulary textbook, like workbooks, like volume 1, volume 2 vocabulary books. And I was just doing that in class. And I used to get in trouble for it, but I wanted to learn language because I realized why is an unanswerable question. You cannot answer the question why. The best answer is because. And then it was an infinite loop. So at that point, I'm like, this little boy is pissing me off, but low key,
He was
like low key.
Right.
My nigga, like, bro, he really did it for me. So from that moment forward, it was very imperative for me that I understand language. And that's when I realized you won't. You won't. And speaking to multiple different types of people with multiple different backgrounds and, you know, being a self-proclaimed etymologist, I realized like, oh yeah, no, nobody really knows what they're talking about, but they just accept it because they have this feeling, right? So the best that words can do is help you try and transmute your experience and transfer it to them. Like you said, I was talking and you were visualizing, but just like Woon was talking about vision, that's another sense we have, right? But I'm not talking about your eyesight. I'm talking about your vision, your brow chakra. This is a psychic sense that can be opened up, but a lot of people choose to close it.
Imagination.
So it's like, okay, well, I'm glad that y'all could grasp these concepts, right? Y'all had it enough to where the words was working, but language is truly compromised. I just do my best to, like, you know, you feel what I'm saying, you see what I'm saying, but we listen to each other's words. You know what I mean? So I mean, it feels good to know that y'all can comprehend. Okay, I'm not some Looney Tune out here just smoking meth, talking to the angels on the side of the road. Like, nah, bro. Like I said, I went to a psychiatric facility because I was just so mind blown. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like you said, Woon, I was scared to believe it. I was scared to believe it. I said, let me have a medical professional check me out then. And them niggas didn't know a damn thing. Okay. No, don't do it, y'all.
Right here.
No, because that was the worst thing I could have done. I'm like, this is even worse. This is even worse. So like I said, that experience really changed my entire life. I mean, it didn't, the life itself was the same, but it changed me in my life. And that was phenomenal. So, you know, thanks y'all for letting me share my story or whatever.
Oh no, you good, because that's like I love the story about the kid with the why situation, right?
He was like, but why? And I'm like, why is he like, I already told him, like, you know, I'm gonna get
because you know, I was that kid to myself and shit, right? Like, and if you watch a lot of podcasts, I'm still that kid. Like,
yes.
I say that like, cause you know, when it comes down, and I do that, and a lot of people know. If you don't know, you don't know. But a lot of times when I do that, I play devil's advocate, right? Because it's just like, okay, so what are we doing? And I like to reverse that. I like to do a whole bunch of shit, right? But because I didn't already have my awakening, so I got my mind. Like, you know what I mean? So now it's just like, okay, when you start asking people questions, because if you see the show, like we don't try to dump nothing on nobody and expect them to accept it. We just say, well, why?
I be noticing y'all in the comment section. Would you care to expand on that? I'd like to know your angle.
Exactly.
I'm like,
okay. That's my number one. You want to elaborate on that? Let me. Because it gives you the ability to express yourself, at least. You know what I mean? To express, you know, X means to get out, or, you know, to express yourself for this experience. And you know, it's just like, okay, so what are we talking about? And then, just like you said earlier, like I can see what you're saying, or I can feel what you're saying. So if they tap in for real, then I'm going to feel what they're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Unless
and that's referring to the vibration. You feel the vibration.
You feel me? Right. So if they don't really know, then you could kind of feel it. You can feel that you're not feeling it. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just it's nonverbal communication.
That's a fact.
And like I said, as an autistic person, I fucking struggled, y'all, because I was feeling the vibes, but the language wasn't matching. And I was such a literal kid. I mean, I'm still very literal now. Like, if it's not what you're saying, then why are you saying what you're saying? Do you know what I mean? Say something else if it's something else. Like, I just don't get it. And a lot of people think, you know, I'm being sarcastic, or I'm playing devil's advocate, or I'm being, you know, like, you know, and I'm not. Like, I be dead ass serious. So that's why, like, when we opened up the cast, I had to give a disclaimer, because people don't be people project on me. I'm a very clear mirror, and so they think what they're seeing is me.
Hey,
and it's hilarious.
hey,
Let me
We
tell you.
deal with that on
hey,
the
look,
show.
I tell motherfuckers all the time. Look, let me say this. For the people who haven't heard me say this, I don't fucking exist. I do not exist, and I be trying to tell. As soon as when I be saying, you probably heard me say this shit. I'm out of here. So when I say I'm out of here, uh, people, I'm literally, and that's why I say I play devil's advocate. I don't need to express me. If you want to talk to me, you can. Like, you know what I mean? But when I talk, I'm talking to you as you for you. So I'm showing you the mirror. I'm a Gemini,
That's
like, you know what I
right.
mean? So I play, you know what I mean? It's like I play opposites. So
Yep.
if I have to play devil's advocate in order for somebody to understand where they're at in their own position, it's absolutely fine. But a lot of people, because you know how the saying go, like, you know what I mean? What's that shit? If you break the mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. Like, you know what I mean? So people constantly run from themselves all the time. So it's just like,
Yeah.
so people could call me demon, devil,
Right.
atheist. Like I've been called all the shit, like, you know what I mean? But really, it's not me. I don't exist. It's really you.
Right.
You just
Right.
asking yourself a question.
Like that. Yeah, I hate to say it
Yeah,
like
Woon,
that.
you would be that guide that's in the woods when the person get lost. You would be that other person and waiting in the woods for them, asking them all kind of Cheshire cat questions, and they'll be like, "Well, I don't know if that was a real person or not, but we found our way on the path, y'all.
Right.
Let's go."
Right.
And I mean, it comes with a lot, right? In that position, and I know that position is crazy, but you know, I feel like it's a great position, and like, you know, I've had more people, I had more people that actually get it than people don't. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And the people that get it,
Well,
they
that's
get it
what's up.
immediately. Yeah, but they'll come back and be like, all right, nigga, I see. Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
That's why ultimately it's like they all get it, because they always give us the little, you know what I mean, like that little push off, like, all right, y'all got it, I'm gonna slide off. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like they, you know, everybody on their own journey, you know. So
that's a fact.
And you know, it's interesting because when you, like we said way in the beginning, if you ask, you shall receive. When we're having this experience, which we might call higher elevated, right? We're on the other side, okay? But being on this side, sometimes, like you said, is a heavy burden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With wisdom, what do they say? With experience comes wisdom. But then that means you're asking for the experience. You ask literally, I need the wisdom to know the difference. So you're asking for that experience, which may not necessarily be a good one.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're here now. We're like, oh man, this is so much. And you know, we're the chosen selected few, as I would say. Let me speak for myself. Okay. I'm the chosen selected few. And the many on the bottom, the majority, the ones that I feel I'm different from, right? I want to be with the collective. So then what does that mean? I'm going to become into a body that is now of the collective. And when I'm there in the collective, I'm going to be looking at that pedestal at the top like, fuck, this shit is hard. I wish I could be doing that.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like we that's why I said that infinity symbol, we're always going to come back to one. So there really is no individual. There's only one individual. And it is us. It is we. It is I. It's everything. It's all right here. At the same exact time, we have split ourselves into an infinite multitude of self. So it's like you said, people don't, what are they gonna do with that? Really, like really. If we all had that, this wouldn't even, there'd be no need for this. There would be no purpose here. We wouldn't be having this experience. So like I said, I wasn't there before. I'm just, you know, coming across this experience. That happened to me in 2017, this death experience. March 17th, 2017. And it was a wild ride. But from that moment forward, I just knew like, oh, this is it. This is where we're trying to go.
Right.
We're already here.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, so remember, me and Selfmade was talking about that. Like, remember that conversation a few years back to what she's saying, like, this is it?
Yeah.
Remember we had that conversation off record, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
Yeah.
Earth might be the lit
Right.
place. Like, you know what I mean?
Everything.
Like, you know, you think about the different places that you can possibly be at, and it's just like, but this place is so fucking lit. Like,
this
you know
one
what I mean?
though. This one though.
Right,
y'all seen it? Do I have to remind you? Like what?
Yeah.
Ain't no way. It's rainbows out here and whatnot. Like everything is so miraculous if we allow it to be. Yeah. Honestly. But like I said, we'll get to a point in our life where we don't want to allow it to be. Where let's fuck around a little bit. Let's get into some shit
spot down here. Hey, that's
you
real.
Know?
I'm telling you, because
oh God, yes.
Think about when you get out the body and you go back into, you know, your etheric form.
Right.
I mean, there's like you could potentially go to a whole different, you know, planet and incarnate on that world or that realm, or you know what I mean? Like there's different places that you can go to.
Yes.
Right.
But my thing is whether or not you know what I mean, like say you incarnate on another planet, like that planet is going to be just like this planet. It's going to, you know, mathematically the code is going to have certain limits, and you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. It's just like when you get out, what could you experience? She said, that's no, like I mean, it ain't. We're not talking about the dream world. Like you see what I'm saying? Like we talking about that space where you don't have a body, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you're pure energy moving about. What could you experience for real? Like you can have all the knowledge and be seeing it with your third eye, but how could you go about experiencing it?
Right.
Yeah. And
I think that's where we was coming back to, like, well, shit, incarnating then would be the shit, because then I could taste, I could jump, I could
exactly.
I could do all these different things that, you know I'm capable of doing. But in that pure etheric form and that pure energetic form, you have the knowledge of, like, you know, I am everything, I can experience all these things, but you have to put yourself or split yourself, you know what I'm saying, up to be able to do that. You got to change your vibration.
That's kind of like how the people what's that shit? How you have the shrines, or what's the thing for the Orishas? What's that?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's so funny. I was gonna say, this is why people have like ancestor altars and stuff.
There we go. Altars.
Right.
Yeah. So you know they're like, nigga, hey, I'm gonna trade you for the spiritual shit for some of that physical shit.
Okay. Yes. Exactly.
They want to get a taste of that.
Yes, and that's why I said it's duality, because we want to get a taste of what they got going on.
What they got, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain specialties, if you will. Like they have certain specialties that they can do, certain skills that they possess in that realm with their dynamics and their constructions that we don't have access to. The same way they cannot eat sweet potatoes.
Right.
but what we can do is cut our little slice of sweet potato that we can't eat and just put it over there, you know, and as a spiritual offering. And then what ends up happening is it's equivalent exchange. You give and you get. So it's very beneficial to do that. That's, you know, I was literally thinking that. I'm like, yep, that's why you got to have your ancestor altar. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm getting it now. Okay, this is going up. It's a nice little rainbow over here. I wish I knew how to flip my camera.
I know, right?
Show y'all this rainbow. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. And what time is it out there right now? It's like 6.
Let me see. Yep, 6:08.
Yeah.
608.
Yeah, that's nice out there. How long you out there for?
Until the Lord directs me to the
Hey,
next destination on this journey.
right. Hey, no, that's lit. That's lit. You know what I mean? Keeping that just free floating. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
You
that's
don't mind
the
me asking
freest.
what astrological sign are you?
Yes.
Shit, the way you be kicking your balance shit, I'm gonna say you're an air sign. I don't know though.
I see a little fire. Yeah, I see a little
Okay.
fire.
Well, I'm gonna twist y'all wigs a little bit. I'm gonna twist your wig a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Pisces.
Our Gregorian calendar is incorrect. It is misaligned.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
So if we're going based on the calendar, I am a Scorpio. I was born on November 11th.
Life, I was finna say that, bro.
But that's the fire. That's the fire you're feeling because we have that Phoenix energy. So there's a very fiery system going on, but that's because we're ruled by Pluto and Mars. So we the fire is in there for sure. Mm-hmm. But the reason why Woon is also correct about the air is because I have a lot of air placements, and in the actual alignment of what constellation the sun was under when I was born on November 11th was Libra.
Okay.
But I also was raised by 2 twin Libra moms, and I have a Libra brother and a bunch of Libra brothers and sisters. And like I said, I have Libra rising. So depends on what calendar you're looking at, but I definitely would say for sure that I resonate with fire and water all the way. But I've got my Libra tendencies more so from my environment. Yes.
Same with mine. Leo. That's why I was like, I just sense the fire. You know what I mean? I think fire just sense fire, just automatically.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to miss. On that one.
And then a lot of my other signs, like my 12th house, I think is Pisces, and that's my moon. So it's like I got a lot of water. I'm around a lot of water people. You know what I mean?
You said Pisces moon.
Yeah. So I'm around a lot.
Pisces is very psychic kind of energy. So to have that in your moon, which is also kind of a psychic placement as well.
Yeah. I think that's why you're on them
psychedelics. Yeah,
that's where my whole spiritual side be coming from. It has to, because I remember reading that, and it was like, everything tied to that psycho, understanding, knowledge, spiritual stuff. I was like,
Pisces is very likely to have all kinds of crystals and incense and very into music and just kind of having fun. I like to say Pisces is the water Gemini. That's how I see them.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's crazy. My dad is Pisces and my son is a Pisces.
Okay, so there you go. You go. Right.
My moon is I'm a Cancer moon.
Oh, me too. Hey, Cancer moon.
Are you?
So so you emotional? It's okay. You don't gotta hide it. You don't gotta hide it.
Take bubble baths. You ain't watching real niggas take bubble baths. I'm gonna take one tonight.
Is your birthday? Are you on the cusp of Cancer?
Nah, I'm on the cusp of a Taurus. My birthday is on the 26th of next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so then that's interesting. Do you feel like you have Taurus placements? Do you feel like you're a little stubborn?
Fuck yeah. You ain't saw the podcast? I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius are all fixed placements. Yeah, exactly. So
we right.
It don't matter. Fire, water, air, don't matter. What? I said what I said. It is what it is. Don't ask me again. Don't ask me again. Yeah, but I be trying to open my mind just because of that. I'm very fixed. Like I said, I'm autistic, so everything has to be what it is. I don't really tolerate change too well, So I take it as a compliment. You said I'm balanced. You said it. I'll take it.
But I think that comes with you know, like when you do reach that place of like enlightenment, like, cause yeah, before it was bad as far as like the hard-headedness and just being closed-minded to a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And once you hit that enlightenment, even as a fixed sign or as somebody that I know I could be real hard-headed, it definitely, I don't know, it's like a variant to it, you know what I mean? Like you still can, it's like now you have the ability to choose in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could say like, you know what, I'm gonna open my mind to this and just see how it is. You know what I mean? And then just close your mind to certain shit if you see like, okay, this shit ain't popping. I don't know. It's a different feeling though. I don't, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because that's to me. That was the because you know I've always been a rebel, like so my hard-headedness is like nigga fuck everything that you're talking about, and I'm say this Divine, when I say this real quick, to me, because autistic people don't speak, they had that same attitude like fuck you, nigga, and not in a bad way, but they just be in their own place. So it's just like and let me say this real quick too, because I wanted to have a show. When you first said that you was autistic, like I would never have had that. Like, you know what I mean? Especially speaking to you right now. But I get it because, you know, at a certain point in time, I don't want to talk. I'm a Gemini. Like, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes I'm talk, but sometimes I'll be like,
you know I mean, you know, I didn't see a need for it.
Yeah. And when you have that energy, you so tapped in with self, like you super tapped in with self because you don't talk to anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like me and my mom, we had a telepathic connection. Like she just got it. So I'm like, well, you know what I mean? Like if you don't get it, why would I waste any of my energy and my being to try and make you get it? But then when that little boy was like, why? And I was trying so hard to make him get it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like, what the heck? Like, let me figure this out. Like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not understanding language correctly. And comes to find out, it was me. And I wasn't understanding it correctly. But at the same time, I still feel like, you know, like you said, you pick people's brains to try and almost like incite that like little, you know, that little spark to like get them going. You know, if it gets going, they still got to fan that flame and keep it going. But you did your part, you know, so then that's kind of why I feel like, okay, I chose to be autistic, right? I signed on to this contract with this body and this brain and this neurological, you know, pathological setup. I did this intentionally on purpose. So why would I do that? And I feel like it was to now
said the pathological setup.
I mean, because that's all that it is.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
That's all that it is.
You said what? What kind of setup?
Pathological.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like I said, y'all, I mean, you guys probably already understand, but we're all speaking a different language. Even though we're all speak English. No, we don't. Not really.
That's a fact.
That's kind of like how I'll be telling people, like, man, if you allow me to go biblical real quick, how, you know, we're in the land of Babel, like this is Babylon. So the language, let me not say it like that. The best language in my mind, where I'm at right now, is the language that we're talking right now. And it's the spirit. This is spirit talk, right? This is the most intimate conversations that people are going to have, you know, as far as, you know, people that come onto the show. Because, like, sometimes this is why we do this show. Because sometimes people don't get an opportunity to have this type of intimate conversations. You know, there's no platform for it, to my knowledge. But it's dope to have people come on openly and freely to this show. We don't be knowing niggas, but we niggas. Like, you know, like what you was saying, I was like, man, shit, this motherfucker been watching my goddamn life. Like, bitch.
I mean, it's like you said, we're all different versions of ourselves. So sometimes you're gonna click with yourself, sometimes you're not. You know, I just recently watched this Viola Davis documentary, and she said that there are times that you will meet the version of yourself that you don't want to be.
That's a
and you have to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just
I
made
said-
post about that shit the other day.
I said, okay. Yes, ma'am.
You vibe,
Okay.
you vibe with your tribe.
Yeah.
So to speak. You know what I mean? Like even when you look at the body, like you got
Yeah.
specific cells for specific things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They may slide past each other. They all in one body, so they, you know what I mean? Like they all got to work together, but
Right.
they
Right.
all on
Right.
different frequencies and different levels.
Yes, that's a
And
great analogy. That's why I said before, I think I forgot one of the posts, but I commented, I'm like, you know, we're all the cells of a larger body.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm just a
Yeah.
small little molecule, you know, there's a whole working organism here and I'm just trying to do my little part. You feel me?
Right.
So,
yeah.
The working organism, and we try to organize to be as one. So it's so lit. It's so
Hey, see, we throwing bars out there. Niggas is rapping right now.
Okay.
Hold on, let me throw it up. We out here rapping right now. They don't even know we spitting.
I didn't know this was an open mic, okay?
You know what I'm saying? Throw it on the chat.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. I see we got Zenith He in the building. A couple of loser guys was popping, boy.
Yes, sir.
We got
RD in the building.
Okay.
We got DJ Low 610. Okay, it could be any signs when you want to. Okay, yeah, no, it's lit. Okay. Oh, we got Neff in the building. We got Blick in the building. Was popping, boy. Go to some of these other posts for anybody that because you said you're open to take questions and shit. Yeah, so
I'm just figuring out this little this chat thing, but I'm seeing it now. Y'all know I might be a millennial, but it take me a little longer, y'all. So okay, we got somebody in here. I'm seeing it. I see the chat. Okay, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in.
King Malik in the building. I'm not sure we was trying to get his mic situated.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just me. Amen.
I guess he's not in here. Let me see.
F. I don't know who Bree F was. Bree F said, "Can you send me the link?" So Shaq RD, he said, y'all ever tap into your Akashic records? You want to take that one, Devon?
Where y'all taking me? The Akashic records. So this is the memory bank. This is the cache, the cache. Okay. So remember how I was saying there's this amnesia, quote unquote, this amnesia where we forget. Everything is being uploaded to the cloud. Think of it that way. There is really no possible way for you to forget because it's all being recorded and documented and jotted down. That's what we consider the Akashic records. Anything that's ever existed, any memory of anything that's ever existed, any experience that was experienced will be downloaded, uploaded, presented in this record, if you will. And so as a shaman, there are times where, let's say we're trying to do a soul retrieval for someone and I'll use my own personal experience. For example, I don't have any tattoos. And for my entire life, I've just felt like completely repulsed by tattoos. And now this is no offense to tattoos, but it's going to help explain the Akashic records and their purpose. During my shamanism, I really wanted to understand, like, well, why is that? Like, why do I feel like if I get a tattoo, someone is going to track me down and hunt me and kill me and capture me? Like, it was an irrational fear that made no fucking sense at all. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what is this? Like freaking 10,000 BC? No one is doing that. You know, no one is scanning, you know, the tribal band that I have when I go into the airport and I hand them my ID and then they're going to throw me in a bag on the plane. But like in my mind, that was going to happen if I got a tattoo. So I was like super superstitious about it. But I did some ancestral work, some soul retrieval, and I learned that did happen to me in a past life. And it was so traumatic that fear came with me into this body.
God damn.
The lesson that I learned in that reality where I experienced that was so strong that in this reality, I said, I don't ever need to experience that again. And I'm cool off tattoos.
Damn.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it would happen. Go ahead.
said, and you just now brought it home because in my mind, because you said forget, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm high right now, and when I say high, I'm just conversation.
Gotcha.
So, forget, receive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forgive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Go ahead. We
Mm-hmm.
have.
Hey, yeah, this is
Yeah,
Malik.
I'm up right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just hella into the conversation.
We want to get your sound going.
Oh yeah, no, because
He's muted, huh?
Hear me?
Oh, there you go.
There you
Yep.
go.
I hear you
I
now.
hear you. Trying to figure it out.
Hey, dog. I got a bunch of kids over here, man. So bear with me. I got all my grandkids over here right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Salute,
Yeah.
salute.
Yeah.
So this is my girl's cousin. And yeah, you know what I mean. Feel free to, kind of join where you may. We was kind of finishing up as far as Divine story of her, NDE.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I haven't heard the story, you know what I mean, about your experience. So
Guys,
I feel like we had like a camp, and I just like these stories. So
right.
Can you guys go ahead and just give me a few minutes and let me?
Yeah.
I got one
Never
of them
know.
up here. I got one of them up here in the shower. He's almost finished, and then when he goes downstairs, I'll be able to get started.
Okay, yeah. Just let us know.
Appreciate you guys.
All right.
So we got in the chat, Sister Sarita. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing that right. She said this is dope. We super appreciate everybody that's into the show tonight. DJ Low 610 said, "Yo, the link."
For what? Like you trying to get in?
I guess he's trying to get in. He or she's trying to get in. That looks like a YouTube watcher. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me throw the email up since he's on YouTube.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, said, can I have a different experience? Okay.
Yeah, shoot me an email to the email on the screen, and then I'll send you the link.
Yeah, but this kind of conversations remind me of I had made a post on Facebook probably like a couple years ago, and I was asking people not about the near death, but I was asking them about about an outer body experience, and there was so many different people that tapped in, and it was like, yeah, just telling their stories about getting hit by cars or, even taking their first hit of some fucking other shit, and then just fuck up out of here, right? And it was so dope just to have people tap in with that, because again, it's a, I don't want to say sacred, but it's kind of like a conversation that people don't have on the regular. So just to have people tap into that energy, I think it's like the dopest shit. Cause again, to me, it's just like telling ghost stories and shit. Like, oh shit, like so what happened? Like,
it's that ghost stories, bro.
For real. Sitting around that campfire, like, hold on, let me get this covered, nigga. Something might pop up. Like,
Yeah, this is a pretty cool little platform too.
Yeah,
how are you guys able to like do the broadcasting and the streaming tandem on YouTube and Facebook at the same time? How does that work out?
They charge us.
Okay, say less. Say less.
But the investment, it was priceless though, because what was we doing? Just YouTube first? So?
It was just YouTube.
YouTube first, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then because he has a good audience as far as on his Facebook, and I got a good audience too. So we like, man, we got to
incorporate that.
So the money don't even matter at that point. We're just like, man, it's investment. We want everybody to experience, what we're talking about. So
yeah, I mean, I'm glad y'all did, because this is dope. Like, this is a cool setup. I'm like, okay, I like how this is. You can have either or, Because for a long time I didn't have Facebook, so I'm like, if you know people I know that aren't on Facebook, I'm like, how can I get this out to them? So that's what's up.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate you for coming on. Like,
I know.
Again, like
that was dope.
man, like the energy that you bring is just like bananas.
Thank you. It was the shirt. It was the shirt.
It's that Hawaii. It's the Hawaii vibes, man.
Okay.
Right.
Out
Aloha,
there,
everybody.
you know, the frequency.
So when I want to see the sunset. So when it started getting close to that sunset, I don't know where you at, if you can see it or if you can show it.
It's on the other side of this building, but I mean, you'll see the sky. You'll see the sky. You'll be able to tell.
Just that is, I'm cool with that.
Right, air sign. You'll be good with the sky, the skyline view.
Right.
Yeah, this was. I mean, it was a blessing to be able to come out here. I encourage everybody to get out and travel the actual world. You know, outer and inner. I know we're talking about NDE and all kind of esoteric stuff, but a lot of my spiritual experiences was outside in the grass, under the trees, at the river, you know what I mean? Walking on a trail. Like, life is beautiful. You think about anything that could happen to you. Like, you know, I know when you said you was in a dark place too when this experience happened to you, but life is freaking beautiful. Like, if you lost all your sight and all your senses, you only had 3 toes instead of 10, you would be looking back at this moment, as shitty as you might think it is, like, damn, I give anything to have 3 more seconds of that, bro. 3 more seconds. That's it. Let me get a taste. And that just goes back to the reincarnation. This is it, y'all. This is literally it. So at that point, it almost feels not even fun anymore once you get there. So I kind of understand why people say ignorance is bliss, because it is.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Have you NDE, but have you experienced an OBE, an outer body experience?
Yes.
And not necessarily where you see your body, you know what I mean? But you don't have to see your body to know you outside of your body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like, okay, do you guys think that that's what's happening when you're daydreaming?
That's a good ass question.
Because I think that's what that is.
If you get hella deep, because I've gotten so deep into daydreams before where I got people damn near right in my face, like, hey, bro, and I'm just like, I'm gone, you know what I mean?
Might as well be sleep, okay?
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I think so. Like, you know, you can find, like, you can lose sense of self in those daydreams. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the very first out of body experience I had, I thought was a dream, and it could have been a dream, but that's why I said, what's the difference? I was at daycare. I was hella young. I was at daycare, and we were doing whatever. We were playing, and, you know, the teacher calls us in for snack. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I turned around hecka fast to go, and it was like I was watching myself go. I'm like, what the heck? I was like, what's going on there? And I'm like, I don't know, but that's weird. Let me just go. So then I like went to go more forward, like, you know, bring more momentum into me going into the daycare. And then I was like, like, you know, like mid walk. I'm like, what? But I was like 7. So I'm like, you know, I just dismissed it. It's whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe that was a dream. Maybe that didn't really happen. You know,
so do your outer body experiences only deal with the things on Earth, or have you experienced some shit that ain't got nothing to do with Earth?
I mean, this is what's so funny, because we call this a planet, but it's really a plane.
Right.
It's a plane. So this plane inhabits many lives.
Right.
Regardless if you can experience it with your 5 physical senses. And so we're never alone. That's what I'm gonna choose to say. We're never alone. And if you are in your body or out of your body, you will be wherever everything is.
Right.
So it's possible that you can encounter and interact with non-physical beings on the non-physical plane that is also here at this physical plane as well, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, your body is the physical plane. You are here. So when you go out of your body, you're not going out of the physical plane.
You're right.
But you are going out of your physical body.
Exactly. Which
So
is
if
opening you up.
as the non-physical can exist in the physical plane outside of a physical body, then so can so many other things. You get me?
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I said it makes sense. It makes sense why people close those centers. Because if you don't know what you're doing, it can be harmful to your physical being. It can be dangerous. Like I said, when I woke up from my experience, I was covered in ringworm. That's a fungus, you guys.
Right.
Big ass, ugly black circles. Look like the fucking plague and shit. I'm like, it was super creepy. It turned me all the way off to all the shit. And that's why a lot of people are like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it is the real life that comes with it, just like death, mortality that comes with this magical, amazing experience. It doesn't sound as fun as like, oh, the white light and rainbows and I'm in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like, it's that other part of it. It's the duality. Dark is light.
That's a fact. Hey, we had a conversation about that the other day. But I'm sorry, I'm looking at what's his name? Kev? Is that Kev? Self?
Who? DJ Low?
Is that who's this in the bottom corner? Just
because I can't see the names.
Oh, Malik. Oh, okay. Because I'm just looking at it as you're speaking, and we're talking about multiple different things, and I just see many hats on this fan that's circling around, and it's. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, sometimes I just be the fuck out of here, right?
Okay.
Never mind. Go ahead, my bad.
I
mean, ain't no coincidences. There's many hats. Many hats.
That's a fact. They show you that in X-Men, the Blue Girl.
Facts.
That was like her story is probably the coldest one because she struggles with having an identity and like who she is and stuff. You feel me?
Yeah. Right, because she's whoever she wants to be.
Exactly.
Right.
And y'all see the color, she's an indigo color. They know what they're doing. Okay. The feminine, the one that gives birth to the spirit. You feel me? I'm not gonna get hella deep on y'all. We here on NDEs.
You finna pull shock in the building. Shock tendencies finna start going off. He finna pull up.
He finna catch that
little. Stick to the topic. Stick to the topic. Yeah.
To me, it's like a breath of fresh air just to have somebody come on and just feeling like, especially from a point of view and shit. You feel me? Like that shit is just like, appreciated. Because then niggas could attack you tomorrow on Facebook and not.
Like I said, they're attacking themselves, so it's all good.
No, I'm just talking shit. Man. They got the young life in the building.
Young life in the building. Hi.
Right. Shout out to the cheerings.
Right.
I'm almost finished. Just bear with me.
Oh yeah, you're
good.
Kicking it.
We freestyling.
Yeah, I had to get me a sitter for my little sons. I'm like, okay, y'all, let mommy spit her little piece, then I'll be back in the house.
Right.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate you for sliding through.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, this is a great platform, y'all. Very open-minded people. Free your mind podcast. Y'all living up to it. I see y'all. Okay, big up to the hosts and all the people in the chat. This is like you said, a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, definitely. We need more, feminine energy to grace the channel. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's like. We definitely appreciate you and definitely want you to come back on again, you know what I mean, for some future shows because we be needing the energy.
Yeah. That's ironic you say that because the first podcast that I ever actually saw you guys do, I don't even remember the women's name, but it was 2 other women on at the same time. And it was the empath versus narcissism one. And they was really speaking, and I'm like, ooh, do not have me get on here, you know. But like I said, I had my kids, I was in the house, and there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you know, they were really providing some insights that I'm like, okay,
right.
these women are having real conversation. Yes, okay, I think that's Lord.
Yeah.
There was another person, I want to say Alexis, but I don't really remember all the way for it. Alzea?
Alzea, yeah.
Alizé.
That's why I just called her Alizé. It's like
She wanted to come on, buddy.
yes, she did. She did.
Yes, yeah. They was asking some real good questions. I could appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It was great conversation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
We needing it. It could get
The primordial divine feminine chaos. I see what y'all saying. Yeah. And I mean, it's true. It's yin yang.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't like that chaos part. They like chaos. I remember I did that on Facebook, and they tried to tear me to pieces. I was like, man, my bad.
Hey, they Jesus you.
Huh?
They Jesus
Yeah,
you.
they threw me on the cross.
And they did that to Jesus. That's what they did to him. Okay, look at all the
everything.
people that he hung out with. There's a reason why in Islam they say that heaven is at your mother's feet. They don't say that for no reason. We call this home planet our mother earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said the powers that be, they try to get us, they try to imprison us again. Saturn.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Go off, bro. Do your thing. Like I said, he got his right to do what he doing. This is his experience too. So by all means, go off. But as a child of the earth, you know, I be feeling protective of my mama. Like, please.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean,
I live here.
When you come into the knowledge and understanding, that's like the first thing. At least for me, that was the first thing that I was like, everybody got to figure this out. Like everybody got to know. You know what I'm saying? And I ran around like a nigga, you know, chicken with his head cut off, trying to get everybody to understand. And it's like the more walls I was running into, because I was prepared. Woon knows. Niggas was prepared to run into them walls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm a Leo, but I had some Taurus horns. I was ramming shit. You know what I'm saying?
Heard you.
And after so many rams, it was like, damn, I'm gonna have to keep doing this. You know what I mean? Like continuously. And you just get to a point where it's like, okay, I came to this on my own. Everybody else got to come to this on their own. And that's when you kind of you chill back a little bit. You still got it. You know what I mean? You know, hey, if I gotta ram some shit, or if I gotta cut some heads off, you know, it's there. But everybody's on their own journey, no matter what. You could drop the seeds, but sometimes they soil ain't ready to, you know, plant. So.
Man, that's so interesting you said that. I was just talking today with someone about that. Like, you know, the saying faith without works is dead. And that used to piss me off, but I understand what it means. It's just you have to have discernment. You have to know when, you know, this time is the time for you to make things happen, or when it's the time for you to sit back and let things happen. And that's the letting things happen is the faith, and the making things happen is making things happen. So I always say, at the very minimum, the least you can do is put the seed in the ground. The elements may or may not be in your favor, and if they are, then you don't have to do anything else. If they're not, then you got to go get some water out the well. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You have to simulate the elements that are favorable to the results that you want. If you want a flourishing garden, you got to do what you got to do to get a flourishing garden. But at the very least, plant your seed. You know what I mean? You can literally just blow some in the wind, but to have at least the intent, like just do something and then go from there. But a lot of people, they just feel like, I mean, I don't want to get into free will and whatnot, because it is and it ain't. It is and it ain't.
They don't like that combo.
With that, like, you know, just like what Selfmade was saying, man, we was bad, man.
It really was bad. Like it was.
Shit was bad, because, you know, but it's again, like, the feeling is so dope to where, like you want to share it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to be stingy with this shit. I think that after a while, and I say this part too, because this is the opposite side of the spectrum. One thing, and we probably noticed it at the same time, that a lot of people that want to debate with us, right, they may come in like, nigga, I'm really want to debate with all the energy and shit, right? Paying attention to them, just like, teach me some shit. Like, I'm really here to learn. Like, you know what I mean? So when it comes down to when you see it from that perspective, it's just like, all right. But you still get them hard-headed as students that still want to fight. And it's just like, okay, so what are we fighting? Before I put on these gloves, I got them burners and I'm ready to smoke shit. Before I kill you, what is going to be the end result?
Right.
Are you just going to be and then just stay dead and act like you're not? You know how like when kids play and shit, you're like, like, I shot you. Like, no, you didn't. I'm still alive. I got a bulletproof face and shit, your bullet didn't work. But I shot you in your fucking head. Like, you know what I mean? But, you know, they're a little extreme. But some people, they come for what they're asking for, and we give it to them the way we know how. But then when we give it to them, they don't serve, and they're just like, at the end of the night, it's not in my face. You don't have to do it in my face. But at the end of the night, just say, you want to know what? Hey, that Selfmade a new Woon, that was kind of at least kicking like just a little bit. Whole thing, just a little bit. I've had people double back and say, hey, you want to? I've had people do it. And it's just like, okay, yeah, it's good then. Like, you know, but so now I don't have to debate with niggas. We're building.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because that's the intention, to get understanding. So now it's not debate no more. It's just like, all right, nigga, I can see where you're coming from. But some like to debate. Right. And that's when I pull out my gun and blow a nigga face off. And I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah. And that shit turned into a game that you just beat already, and they keep restarting that shit. I hate the loops with that shit, but it's like you blow their head off and then they reanimate and continue to run at you again, and you just keep blowing that shit. Bam. And it's just like, damn, nigga, when you finna stop, bro? Goddamn, stop running at the gun, nigga. Like, but sometimes they do have to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, just.
I mean, that's what makes the game fun, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
We played the game so many times. We kind of know, like, nigga, we know all the codes because, nigga, we are the game. So whatever type of code that you come in to give you to, we already got the 45. You know what I mean? So any angle that, and especially in a box belief, you got 6 sides to a fucking box. Nigga, we're outside of the box. So we're just like, if we see you go this way, go stop that shit. Back, we gonna cut that off. Back. So it's just like, why don't you allow us to say we're gonna open this together? You could push, I can pull, and here we go. Yeah. But even me, I like to fight. Like, you know what I mean? So imagine me going through this shit, but I don't think that I went through this shit with nobody else. It was kind of like, it might be a different experience. Went through this with me, so it's just like I had to fight. Like, you know what I mean? So now,
I mean, that's all that's really ever happening, to be honest.
Yeah, for real.
That's right.
You know,
but you know, in the assistance of niggas, but yeah, but nah, it's just fun though, man. Again, I remember in this stage, we had to come to the understanding that, you know, even though coming out of love, a lot of people receive it as hate or pain or hurt or things like that. And then I remember talking to myself like, hey, nigga, we shit out of love and we get slack like, you know, we get the most crazy feedback. Like, you know what I mean? And we're coming from a generous place. Like,
look
you know
what they did to Jesus. If that story is really real, then you just already know. If literally the thing that we say is the Most High, if the Most High gave us its most precious gift, and as a collective, we decided to kill it and mock it and maim it and put it up for all to see as a sick, twisted display, if that's how we can treat the most precious gift of all, then how y'all gonna treat me? Because I feel like the most precious gift of all. So I'm just already knowing what to expect. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how y'all did Jesus. Then y'all ain't gonna have no problem doing me like that. Which means then, you know what? I'm not even pressed about it. That's why he said that. Forgive them, Lord, because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you can't know at that point. You can't
know what thou do.
You just, if you do know and that's how you acting, then God bless your heart. Because at that point, you looking for some trouble. You looking for a bad time, and I'm gonna let you have it. Because like I said, I will rise again. And when I do, don't be running and ducking and hiding. That debt, I'm coming to collect my debts. All right. And that's why I just be like, you know what? I'm learning now. I'm still young. I'm learning. I know I sound wise and articulate, but I'm a human being. Okay. I'm out here having my experience too. I'm doing my best to just remember my best. And like you said, sometimes though, if I feel like I want to fight, I'm going to put my alternate identity on and I'm going to go shadow box in the night somewhere, you know?
And that's also your best.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
You get these best. I'll be the best villain you ever had.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly. For no peace shit. They said he coming back with a sword to break up families and fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
And don't that sound like what Jesus is doing? Don't that sound like what the devil is doing though? Ain't that what they say Lucifer be doing? So then Jesus had to already come back then. If he was gonna come back on some fuck shit, and Lucifer's on some fuck shit. Then...
I said I played devil's advocate.
We already,
we got called devils and demons.
Hey, we don't be calling no names. We done got called all types of shit, man.
Man, that's why I like you said, it's fun. I laugh. I'm just here for the conversation and the good time.
Definitely.
Because we made it, y'all. It's a beautiful life.
Right, here.
Yeah.
It's already up. It's already up. He said, well, I won't look like his bottle. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to hold you up. You know what I mean? I know I heard you say you had the kiddos.
Yeah, I hope y'all can't hear them in the background going crazy. They're teething and it's bedtime and we in a new reality and all that, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the parents out there. Shout out to all the parents doing their duties.
Mm-hmm. Already know. Mine's sleep. So.
Oh yeah, amen. Oh yeah, because what time is it out there? It's like almost 10 o'clock now.
Yep. 9:50.
Yeah.
Shoot, that don't phase nothing with my son. He'll pop up at 11 and then want to be up. You know what I mean, all night. But yeah, like we definitely appreciate you for coming out, and you know expressing your story.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Like I said,
I won't look like this bottle.
And that's what I said.
Right.
Hey,
No
you got a cord in there. You got a cord.
There you go. Well, I'm glad I was able to share my piece. This is a good segue, you know, nice and refreshed. Right. We got somebody new coming on the mic, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to, really, again, want to have you at least just a little bit, and like a whole show based on that. But the autism, I really you to
I represent where my people at.
Yeah.
Where my people at. I have, like I said, I feel encouraged.
What the fuck was that?
What?
Y'all got gang signs and shit? Yeah, I see.
This is, you know, aliens, Star Trek. You feel me? All my weirdos out there.
Okay.
Up. All my alt-right people, my alternatives, the others. That's my tribe. It's always the other. You know, when if your box ain't on there, you just gotta click other. That's me and my people. Those of us on the spectrum, you know, the neurodivergence. But yeah, for sure, I would definitely love to tap in with that because I got some theories for y'all. But I'm gonna be in the chat, you know, checking out, scoping. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to my mom duty. So yes, hey y'all in the back. I see y'all. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.
All right.
Super dope.
She came through.
Right.
energy was up.
Yeah, that
Kings was good.
What's good with it, Kings?
what's going on? Okay, there we go. It
Feeling,
sounds a little better
feeling
now
like
too.
it sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the little earpieces in now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, y'all gotta forgive me. I ain't gonna have as much energy as the sister who was just on, but it's getting late
Hey,
for
it's
me.
all
I got these kids. My daughter had a accident at her house a few months back, so the kids are over here until they get into another place. And then
Okay,
my
so they
son-in-law was on he was on the news. They were trying to fire him from his job for some punk stuff, and he had the whole community showed up, so he got his job back. So we doing good over here now.
oh dang,
so
yeah.
they came and regulated the whole show, huh?
Right.
Yeah,
That's lit.
yeah.
That's
This is
good.
my feeding time. Usually I have a bigger bag that I plug into through this line in my chest, but the bag I don't know what happened. I don't have a feeding bag for tonight, so it's going to be a rough night. Like usually they send me 7 bags every week,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
you know my son puts them away or I put them in the freezer, and I always have an extra bag left just in case if something like this happens. I go in there just now and there's not a bag in there, so somewhere along the way somebody threw it away. So now I got to
Mm-hmm.
do these little. I got to try to get by on some of these little bags tonight. My med be here first thing in the morning, so they got me on all this, all this stuff. Long story short, man, I was in the back seat of a car and back in 2004, and me and a friend of mine was going out, and it just was. I was listening to you guys talk about daydreaming and weird stuff. So
Right.
this how this night was, man. It was for one, I didn't want to go out. For two, my girl kept telling me just stay in the house. She kept telling me I feel something in my gut. I was going with this, seeing this young Asian girl at the time. She kept saying I feel something in my gut. Just stay home. And I was like, nah, man, I'm finna go out because I just graduated from school and we didn't have a chance to go out because it had been raining. So this Saturday we was all supposed to meet up at this little place downtown. And so he comes and gets me, and I get in the car, and then I'm like, I just felt like a weird feeling in my stomach. Like, you know how when you go, you know how you get on those rides, and then you go up, and then you feel that little feeling in your stomach, that
Stomach ache.
Yeah.
that like wavy feeling. So as soon as I sat down in his car, I felt that, and I was like, "Hey, did you feel that?" And he was like, "What's wrong with you, man?" I
Yep.
was like, "I don't know."
That
It
gut
just
feeling.
just from there on, we took off, and just every part of it, just something. It felt like I remember a couple times when we used to shroom back in the day. We used to say the whole day seemed like a book. Each adventure was like a chapter. You know what I mean? Each little adventure is a chapter. You
Yeah.
do one spot, and then you somewhere else, and then so that's kind of like how the night was, man. So we ended up picking his girlfriend up, and then that wasn't even in the cards. It was supposed to be me and him. So when he picked her up, I called my girl, and then my phone died. And I'm like, shit. So we take off again, and then I see a payphone, and I tell him, pull to the liquor store, pull in the liquor store. We pull in the liquor store, and I get to the payphone. It's like the only payphone I've seen. So I call her from the payphone, and then her phone goes to voicemail. So I call the house. She picks the phone up, and it just something happened. We just got disconnected, man. And then he's back in the car. He's like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Trevor, you know what, man? Take me home. I'm cool. Something don't feel right."
Yeah.
Nah, he already had a fifth in his system. He already had a fifth in his system, and he was fizzing.
Oh,
And this cat never did. Every time we used to fizz, he would never partake in the fizz. He never partake in it. But this night, he partaked in it without even me knowing, without nobody knowing.
yep.
So I
Energy was
guess it
up.
ended up hitting him. So after we pick up the chick, we come back around. We hit Auburn Boulevard, and then it just like started lightly raining, and it just there was no lights on that strip. The whole it just man, and as soon as we hit the corner, like I seen this dude's little beady eyes in a truck. We like literally locked eyes, and I'm in the back seat, mind you. and I see him. Yeah, and I see him. We lock eyes, and he's in a big moving truck. And then pay attention. The name of the moving truck is Starving Students. So when I'm finished, I'll tell you another. There's another story behind it.
It was synced.
So yeah, yeah. So we end up. I'm telling Trevor, slow down, man, slow down. I think this dude ain't paying attention. So he's not paying attention either. He's arguing with his girlfriend over the radio, and I look up. By the time I look back up, we're already doing 60, and he looks up. We smash into the side of the truck, and the whole car just is all the way up to like the back seat. And then I just remember I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe at the beginning, and like I literally I stopped breathing for a minute, and I was at second wind, and then second, and you can just hear the horn and just loud noises, and then people are coming out from. I think there was a hotel right there and a couple other little things, so people are coming outside, and telling him like I can't breathe, I can't breathe. So he comes over, cuts me out, drags me in the street, and then next thing I know, I remember a ambulance dude, that fire dude that's over me, like cutting my clothes off. And then I remember spitting up stuff. Come to find out, I'm spitting up like my intestines, literally spitting my intestines up. Because the seatbelt I tightened up so much that it had shoved my guts, ripped my diaphragm apart, ripped my liver, ripped my kidneys, shoved everything, and then literally tore my intestines apart.
That's why some people are disgusting.
So I had passed out again. I'm on that naked on the ambulance table, and my brother said when he finally got there, like he ran in there because he didn't know what was going on. He said they had me on the table, and they literally had my insides out next to me, and then like towels inside of me to try to stop the bleeding.
The bleed.
But by this time, I'm in a coma. I'm gone. I'm just running. The whole time I'm running from like demons. No joke, man. I'm running, and to me, I always tell people they look like Samoan or Hawaiian gangbangers. You know what I mean? They had the little flags, and I don't know what that was about, but they were just so close to me, and every time I would snap into different sequences, them chasing me, and then I would like hit a corner, and they would be gone, and then I'd be in a different realm. I'd be next to my. I remember I ended up coming through a door, and I was in a bar, and then I look over and I see my daughter like sitting. What are you guys doing? They're like, take us to.
Are you getting this feed right now, so?
Nah, it's kind of going in and
Then
out.
I'm sitting here tripping it, and then the next thing I know, boom, I'm at the park. I'm in the little D, which is hella big still. On my bumpers, he's like on the back of my neck. My hair is like standing up, and I can smell his breath today. It smelled like sulfur, like when you strike him. That smell of match always brings me back to his voice. His breath was like right here. Every time I smell somebody striking a match, it literally brings here. So from there, we jump into another thing where I'm just going through different doors, and I'm at different places, and I'm literally like seeing like bad shit that I did throughout my life. Like it's taking me back to things like, like being out, leaving my wife and doing stupid shit, just fight, just all kind of stuff. It's just taking me through different journeys. And then at one point, like I'm in a penitentiary, I can see like my cousins, and I see my stepbrother and a bunch of people. And then I see my stepbrother, some dude coming up to him. And then I end up, boom, I'm in another dream, and I see my buddy, like my best friend. And he's going into a different door, and I'm telling him, Jamar, come over here, come this way. And he's like, no, I'm going with them. So all these little things, they're in my head. So finally, I bust back, and then I'm running again, and the little one's up on me, and then finally I'm close to I'm getting ready to stop and just let them just do what they're gonna do to me, and then the little one says stop. The little one says stop. He'll be back, and they disappear. No joke. And then I wake up and I see my family coming in one by one. Actually, my first cousin, she's coming in backwards because for some reason she doesn't want to even look at me. So she's walking in backwards because they're telling them all to say their goodbyes to me because they didn't think I was gonna make it. So I'm seeing this and I'm slowly coming out of a coma, and then I see like my brother, my dad, like or my stepdad. I just see everybody, my whole family. So I'm like, am I dead? What the fuck? So I try to get up and I'm like, I gotta go to work because I'm thinking it's the next day and it's a whole week that passed. And to me, the timing, the linear time and the
Right.
timing in that world is way different because it seemed like it was just like seconds, you know what I mean? But then
Right.
when I come back to a whole week has passed. So I slowly started hearing stories. I start finding out what's happening. Um, I try to move around, and they literally got me like handcuffed, chained to the bed because they didn't want me to start pulling all the tubes out of me because I had tubes down my throat. So the seatbelt had also crushed both my lungs, breathe because my lungs were literally flat. So they had to intubate my lungs. They had to stick the thing down my throat. They had to feed me intravenously. So they slowly started telling me what happened and what started going on. They were surprised that I remembered as much as I did. And they slowly started telling me, what's going on with me. And I can hear a couple of my friends by the door saying he's not going to like that bag. And he's not going to like that when he sees him. And I'm like, geez, I can hear you, motherfuckers. I didn't hit my head.
Right.
And he looked up at me and then they turn around and they leave. So later on when they pull the tubes out, I sent for them. I was like, man, tell Marco and Chris to come back over here. So they flew back into town and I was like, so what happened? What was you guys talking about? And then they sat me down, they started telling me everything. So I couldn't move to see what was going on with me because I had staples all in my stomach and I'm like plugged to like 5 different machines. So finally, when I start moving around, like they tell me they didn't want me to like literally look at myself because I'm 6'3" and I was down to like 105 pounds,
Man.
110, 110 at the most. So I was just bones. So I had once they got the tube out of my throat and they moved me up to this floor, it was the 5th floor. I ended up crawling into the bathroom, like getting out of my bed. I ended up pulling all these cords out of me, bleeding and shit. And I got to the mirror because I just wanted to look at myself. And I got to the mirror and I just fell in the bathroom, man. Started just fucking bawling. I was crying for shit about 15 minutes before the stupid nurse finally came in and realized what had happened. So she had to hook me back up to the machines and tell me not to do that again. So I wanted answers. I wanted to know what was wrong with me and how my life was going to be. So finally, the doctor came in and told me, we had to remove all your intestines. Your pancreas took a big hit. Your liver's not going to be ever be the same. Your kidneys. He was like, your life's going to be a journey. You're going to have to get fed intravenously for the rest of your life. He just let me have it. He told me everything, and I was glad he did, and he didn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
So I knew what my fight would have to be about if I was going to do this fight or not. Because at first I was like, why the fuck did you guys wake me up? Who said I wanted to live like this? I didn't even get a chance to say how I wanted to live.
Right.
But then after that, I just made peace with it, and time went on. I slowly started learning how to walk again, and I was in there. I went in there October 15th at like 12 like little after 12 a.m. Cold part, I get out December 15th at like 12:30 p.m. I left there with like no shoes, no clothes, no nothing because the place I was staying at, the house got flooded. All my clothes got flooded, man. I was just
Man.
wondering what else could happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So time went on. I just continued to fight. I continued to believe in what I believe in, and I would start seeing little things like the part about my buddy that I seen on the yard that somebody was walking up to. He ended up getting stabbed, getting killed in prison. My buddy that I wanted to come in the door with me, he ended up dying. He ended up finding out while visiting me over there, he had a lump on his neck. They told him to go to the doctors. He went to the doctors next week and found out he had fucking terminal cancer, man. So my homeboy, my best friend, my homeboy, he dies 3 months after I get out. So all these little signs and things that I was having in a coma, I'm slowly starting to see them come to light.
Mm.
So I started getting scared. I started really tripping about things like walking through doors because every time I'd walk through a door when I was in a coma, it was going to something bad. So I didn't like walking
Right.
through doors for a minute. I wouldn't walk through a door for a while. So it took me a while to get up and get out of the house. And I
Mm.
started writing, working on my craft with spoken word, and I wrote a couple of
Right. Yeah,
books
that's right.
about the fifth floor. A book called Memoirs from the Fifth Floor, Fighting for My Life, and then another one called Serendipity, Memoirs from the Fifth Floor, Volume One. And I'm just putting these little volumes together for my kids, so I can, my grandkids and their kids, always be a little something to be left.
Right.
So now
Right.
the big
Right.
thing now is I got so here we are, like what, 15, 6 doctor. He passed away. The other one retired, but he had told me, hang in there because something's always new happening with medicine. Whether you like it or not, there's always something coming up. So here we are, and they got something that might just get me off of this shit and get my life back. I'm gonna be doing this test study up in Seattle, and it's promising. There's people I know personally that have literally got this line out of their chest and got their life back.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so hopefully the story ends with a good tune. But lately, I've been in and out of the hospital with line infections because this thing in your it ain't supposed to be in your body. So I'm prone to
Mm.
infections, and I'm in the hospital a lot. Getting that nasty ass medicine. Medicine I don't. I can't wait until I can start eating, the herbs and eating good stuff to
Mm.
get my nutrition the right way. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, so in a nutshell, hopefully I'll be able to come back, and tell you the story in the detail and spend a little more time with you guys, man. But I appreciate what you guys doing, man. I'm digging it, man.
Yeah.
I've been
Nah.
following
We.
your music. I've been following the
Right.
music too. The music is fire. The music is fire.
Yeah. Appreciate that for real.
Yeah, I told Bree, shoot me everything. Whenever you get something done, she shoot it to me, and then I got it in this little file I play on the weekend.
Right. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up, man. So what about the I'm not sure if you had mentioned it, but the person that was
Uh,
driving with you.
man, I could say a lot of things, but one thing I always come to is that could have easily been me driving and him in the passenger seat.
Mm.
But dude, he wasn't solid. A lot of people would tell me that when I'd be with him and be out. There was a cat that I met while I moved up here and going to school. I was born out here, but I was raised up there in like Santa Rosa, up in Runner Park and Santa Rosa up in that way. And then I moved back here and I was going to school and I met the dude while I was going to school. And we wasn't, we hung out. That was my boy for a minute, but we wasn't like, we wasn't glued. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So I can't blame him for doing, what he did. I guess some people hemmed him up one time, and because what he did, and I had to tell him, it wasn't his, fault. That could have been me driving. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
he didn't come see me in the hospital. He didn't see how I was doing, and then he ended up taking off.
Mm.
I heard moved somewhere or something. So that should tell you how dude is. And then
Right,
nothing
right.
happened to him. Yeah, he had a couple scars. He hit his head on the dashboard, and that's it. The his
Dang.
chick that was with him, she broke her, I think, her femur and her collarbone, and she had a couple things, but they all healed. You know what I mean? They all healed.
Right.
They got a little bit of bread, they got a little bit of cheese, and they all healed. I'm the one who has lifelong, suffering,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to make peace with that a long time ago. That that could have been me because it actually, I actually wrapped my car a couple times while somebody was in there. God,
Right.
God saving everybody. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got, the universe blessed me those both of those times because I had something in my system both ways. So I wasn't legal at all.
Yeah.
But luckily, like I said, luckily nobody got hurt. So that's why I had to come to peace with that because, like I said, that could have been me driving. And that was me driving a few times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't. I know he didn't. I know he didn't. It was mad that he wasn't showing up. He wasn't there to see me, and I had to tell him, like, you know, that
Right.
shows you how close we was. You know, we really wasn't that close. If that's the way he sees it, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and you here to you know what I mean, share your story at the end of the day, which for the people that's
yeah, yeah.
watching and out there, you know what I mean. Like you said, you wrote the books. Are those like on like an actual platform like Amazon, or like, can you know what I mean? Can people actually go and buy these books?
Yeah, there's some still on Amazon, and I'm trying to go through this thing with them because they ain't even got my permission to have them on there because I finally got my rights back to them because I did this self-publishing that through this company that ended
Mm,
up going underwater. So I ended up getting all my rights back before they went underwater. And a friend of mine called me. She was like, "I just bought your book on
right,
Amazon." I was like, "Wait a minute, how is people buying this book? I'm not getting no money." One time,
right.
this book was up time for $50.
For
It
50.
was
Oh,
being
so they
sold on
making
Amazon
money.
for,
Oh.
yeah, for 50. Yeah, but nobody bought it. I think it said like last copy or something. But when she got it,
Mm,
she paid like $20 for it or something like that. So, and then I know a couple other people that had got it, so I'm trying to find out, you know, where the money is going to. So I'm trying to meet with somebody over there. But yeah,
mm.
they're still on there, and I got some more coming out, and I'm trying to refresh this YouTube channel with some spoken word and some other stuff that I've been doing.
Right, yeah. I mean, if you got any links, you know what I mean, that you want to drop, or you know, that I could post just to, you know what I mean, help get that out there and promote, you
Yeah,
know, your
yeah,
story
yeah.
within
Just
itself. Because
King Malik 916. King Malik 916 is to my YouTube, my IG, to everything.
okay.
I don't really be on there like posting and doing a lot of shit like I should because I'm trying to fight. I got a war I'm fighting. Plus, I'm trying to finish school right now. I've been in school for quite a while because I end up in and out of the hospital. So I'm finally
Mm,
down to this stat class and this other class. I finished all my sociology, so I just got like 6 units to go. But I got to take a leave of absence to go out here to Seattle to try to do this study. So, but when I get back, I want to start. You know, I'm trying to journal this whole thing up in Seattle. I'm trying to film it all so that way I can come
yeah,
back and share. You know what I mean? The flight, the doctor
right.
interviews, the surgery, the whole nine. I'm gonna try to show. I want to try to videotape it all.
Hey, yeah, that'll be dope, man. I mean, I like to have you come back on the show too, like after everything's done, you know what I mean, and just to talk about it and kind of recap on
You
everything.
guys
I
hear
think
me?
that'll be. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Uh-oh. Mic check,
Yeah.
mic check. You can hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All
Can you
right.
hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. You can hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry about that, man. Sometimes I just lose. When I
Okay.
move around upstairs.
But yeah, no, I was just saying,
How you
like, just
doing,
to
man?
have you
How's the
back
kid?
on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, just to have you back on, like how you were saying, after the journaling and all that stuff is done, just to recap, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
see where you
Yeah.
was at.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
the young life, he cool.
Yeah.
I
Appreciate
see
it.
he just woke up right now, so he about to
I
run
can
amok.
hear him. I can hear him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
gonna
I
have to link up.
appreciate you, man. Let me get these kids. Yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah,
right
yeah,
up the
definitely.
street, man, from Mom's, man. We get together. I was telling Bree we got to try to get together before it start getting too hot, man.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, it's good, man. We'll figure something out. Appreciate you for sliding through.
Yeah, always, man. Give Bree a hug for me, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna share your information to some people.
All right, for sure. Definitely.
All right.
All right, man. What's up?
Peace. Peace.
Peace. Yes, sir, man.
Hey, my bad. We had to deal with the fucking with the hotel people and shit. These motherfuckers on the door, all type of shit.
Oh yeah. Turn up is real.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, that was dope,
shout out
man.
to shout out to him. And he just now hold on, wait, because I see is Bree F. Is that this?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I seen it earlier. Okay, so now that you know, it makes sense. I was listening to you guys' conversation to make sense.
Oh yeah. I was like, yeah, that's you know, her cousin.
Oh, okay. Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah, but shout out to everybody
dope.
that's in the chat, man. Oh, King Malik. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, threw his little contact in the chat. So if you are in the chat, I think this is YouTube chat. So if you're on Facebook and you want the links, because he said he has some books, and you know, I'm pretty sure since he didn't want it on Amazon, you probably got to go through him to get those. Yeah, directly. So the link will be on the YouTube chat link or chat board, whatever, you know what I mean. So you can find it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get at him so we can connect and see what he got on his book. Then you know, my children's book.
Right.
So hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, no, tonight was dope, man. Tonight was on a high frequency for sure the whole way through.
That's a fact.
And just getting the understanding from both sides of the story. I mean, from both stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as like with Malik's, everything that he went through and experienced, it's like it all happened for a specific reason because he's seeing those reasons play out in his life right now. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact. And he was saying that he was going through multiple different or seeing multiple different experiences while he was going through shit.
Right.
And you know, again, man, like I don't know, that's just like deep because it's just like it opens you up to saying that you're just not this.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Or you're just not going through this experience. It's a lot of different experiences that you're going through. So, you know, that shit is lit.
Yeah, that shit lit, man. We gonna have to run a show like this back for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And we appreciate the you know, the extension as far as it being a topic, because somebody threw this out there for us, right? I didn't come up with it. So
yeah,
you know,
that was yeah, I think it was Divine.
Yeah. So
definitely.
Shout out to the chat, because you know we be getting topics from y'all too. You know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
A lot of this, again, you know, we doing this for the people. So it's like whatever y'all want to talk about, feel free to, you know, drop a suggestion, and most likely we finna, you know, run it. So
get that shit. Hey, I think and I'm glad that you said it like that, because I don't think that a lot of people know that, you know, the extents well, let me say the extensiveness of how we can go like either way when it comes down to just, you know, just the experiences. Again, and I have to say this because people would think that me and you are around the same age, but they don't know that you're still the young life. Like, you know what I mean? So
right.
Just to have your input on the experience is just like, okay, then I'm coming. So it's just like, there's
that dynamic.
Exactly. You get, you know, the young life perspective, then you get mine. And it's just, you know, just to see that, and we're open to basically topic or experience that people talk about, like, you know what I mean? And
whatever it is.
Yeah, and it's just lit like that. So again, I have to shout out Divine, and I have to say this. There's a level of energy that she was putting out, and it was just like, oh, it was like a real mirror to me. And I was like, oh shit, like goddamn, like
it's refreshing for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So now I don't even have to say it. I could just kick back and receive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I was saying with the forget and forgive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was forgetting that, you know, we're talking about me, and I'm sorry. I'm just, the way she was spilling her, like, that shit was up. Like, you know what I mean?
It was for surely up. It was for surely up.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Like you said, it had niggas high. You know what I mean? Like, when you start tapping into those forms of thought, it changes your whole perception at that time. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, we in a whole different mode right now. That's real.
And this is on some different type of time, but same type of time. Aren't like some of the planets aligned right now too? Is that what's going on right now?
I mean, I don't know, to keep it all the way a buck. I do know that we got Mercury in retrograde. Other than that, I don't know as far as other planets being aligned though. I
guess some of the retrograde now, it's like the end of the shit. Because it's like that. And then we're about to go into like a solar eclipse within the next like couple days or week or something like that, and then the planets are aligned. I know it's sometime soon, so all of this energy is going on right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, it can only go up from here, man. You know what I'm saying? We just came out of a whole certain type of age. That's all I'm gonna say. We just came out of a certain type of age going into another one, and this other one's pretty lit. So a lot of shit gonna have to change. And so we seeing a lot of shit happening, you know what I mean? And it's just gonna continue to happen because that's where we at. You know, it is what it is. It just do.
It just do. With that being said, you know, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all keep it lit as usual. You know, it's nothing up, man.
Free Your Mind podcast, man. We'll be back at it next Thursday. Hit us if you got some topics, whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about it with you. You know. Other than that, peace and love, y'all.
Yo, peace.
Always going up, you can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us. Always going up, you can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us.